The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. All right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
Yeah. Dr. James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and wow. That's all I'm going to say is wow. We got an absolutely fantastic, sensational show coming your way today. We have a good friend of mine, world traveler, just got back from Australia, and he's here to share some of those experiences with us, and also enlighten us on a lot of things that he is doing. Hold on, Michelle, I'm not going to give it away. You know, I know that's your job, Michelle. I know that's your job. You know, so how you doing? Baby? How you doing?
I am doing great. Had a great weekend, and we're starting fresh again this week with some amazing guests, especially the one today.
Wow, I'm excited about this topic that this young man is going to talk about. I'm trying to figure out how he's going to package all of this and just put it out. So, whichever platforms you're watching this on, whether it's E36 television, transfer, TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, and over 84 other live platforms, welcome to the show. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Michelle, can you do the honors by introducing the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest?
Oh, most definitely. So, audience, the title of today's show is called Recreating the Locker Room. Why men need brotherhood, positivity, and purpose. So we're having a sit-down discussion with Mr. Mike Burke. He's a renowned entrepreneur, speaker, and coach. He's going to talk about everyone's fighting something. You're not alone. The locker room, a blueprint for brotherhood, business, fatherhood, and the pressure to perform, the power of positivity and appreciation. So again, Mike Burke, he's a renowned entrepreneur, speaker, and coach whose window film brand Sunstoppers has over 70 locations nationwide. A Guinness World Record holder and multiple-time XPEL Dealer of the Year. He now mentors small business owners worldwide, energizing audiences with high-impact sites and proven growth strategies. So please welcome to the show, Mr. Mike Burke.
Well, how you doing, Mike? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm in the locker room. I'm with you.
Hey, that's the locker room, man. I tell you what, it's an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I told you I was gonna get you.
You did.
I told you, and I know it took that beautiful young lady of yours to kind of twist your arm a little bit.
Well, you have a beautiful young lady. So I think both of our young ladies have been working together and getting us together.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, can you tell our audience a little bit more about you, where you grew up, what made you click, why you so passionate about the things that you do?
Yeah, my name is Mike Burke. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was a guy that battled a lot of things in my life. I didn't know how to read until I was about sixth grade. I faked it really good. I knew how to brown nose and sit in the front of the classroom and be nice to the teachers. But no, on a serious note, school put a lot of pressure on me growing up, and I didn't have the same brain that most people have. I have a very unique designed brain that is ADD. It works very fast, and I have to be very busy to stay focused. Anybody that's ever battled ADD understands that. But growing up, I battled difficulties. I was a little chubby, got a little overweight, got picked on, bullied, and I had zero confidence. And I started watching some karate movies, and I went and started to do karate. And next thing you know, I got some confidence, grew up. And by middle school, I was a pretty bad dude. And but what happened is confidence and being secure in who I was allowed me to grow into the person I am today. And I'm very thankful now at 52 years old about my childhood and about how the difficulties in life when you're young become your biggest power. They're almost like a superpower in playing sports and being mentored by MMA coaches and karate coaches and becoming disciplined. Those little habits that I found in sports and I found in MMA and transpired into this big global brand that I have today. And I love to give back. I love to coach and mentor people because parents aren't really paying attention to their kids and what really is important. I think school's important. I do. But what I really think is important, teaching your kids self-esteem and teaching them confidence and teaching them how to think for themselves. And so my mission in life is to help the younger generation be valued for more than just passing a test.
So you mentioned MMA, which the audience probably not know that you're an MMA fighter and also UFC fighter as well.
I'm sorry.
So you told me this story one time, and you probably forgot that you remember being bullied, and you saw this one kid one day. I didn't forget, and there was a couple of guys bullying that kid, and you said you had to intervene. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So if you've ever watched a movie where you see like a little, kid getting picked on by like two guys, and my instincts were, I don't want anyone to go through the things that I went through. I don't want them to go through those things. So what I did is I intervened and I basically said, hey man, let's make this a fair fight. I got involved, took care of both of them, and from that day forward, everybody in the school pretty much came and got me if there was a problem. And not that I was looking for a fight, but I basically just said, I'm not going to allow it. And that's kind of what motivated me. I'm going to be there to protect the people that can't protect themselves.
So like you're very successful from a business perspective and from a life perspective. When did you realize, you mentioned self-confidence. When did you realize that, hey, I have self-confidence. I can do anything I set my mind, regardless of what the situation is. Can you talk about that?
So, when you go to college, which I didn't want to go to college, when I graduated high school, I went to college. My dad told me, he said, go 1 year. And if you fail out, at least you went for the experience. And when I went to college, I didn't really think I was capable of going to college. I scored like an 880 on the SAT. I'm horrible at testing. My ADD is incredible, which means I can't stay focused for a very long time. I can read books and I don't mind reading, but I can read a piece of paper. If you hand me a 300-page book, I'm gonna like look at it and get nervous and be like, hey man, I don't want to read that. But if you hand me a piece of paper, I'll read it. Hand me another piece of paper, I'll read it, because I can see the beginning and I can see the end. And when I can see the beginning and I can see the end, I know how much long that's going to take me to do, so I do it. But if you hand me a whole book and I can't do it in the time frame that I want to do it in, I don't want to do it. So I'm a guy that needs to be focused on one thing, accomplish one thing, and then move on to the next thing. But in college, I got there and I didn't want to let anybody down because I knew we were paying for school. And when we started paying for school, we didn't have a lot of money. So I didn't want to let my parents down. I didn't want to let my friends down. I didn't want to let myself down. So I doubled down. And what happened is the University of Western Carolina allowed me to come to school in a summer early enrollment program for people who had pretty decent grades, but I was very involved in the community and had a good resume in high school. But they allowed me to come in, and if I did well during school, they were going to let me stay in school. So it was called a summer early enrollment program. And when I made it through the summer early enrollment program and did well, man, I'm going to tell you, I actually fell in love with college. And what I loved about college is I got to pick the classes I wanted. And I get to pick things I was interested in. And I get to meet cool teachers. And I actually fell in love with learning. Once I got to college, I realized I was independent and I could be myself and I could work out. I could go to the gym. I could eat. I could go to school. And it was this whole new life of me managing me.
You know, you mentioned something about ADD and all that. Many people have challenges talking about whatever type of issue that they might have, which sets them back because they're not able to express themselves. Can you talk? We got about 2 minutes before the break. Can you talk about that?
So you want me to express myself? I didn't quite hear you.
No. I said many people have problems expressing themselves, like you said, that in school initially you didn't think that you was a very good learner at the time, but you learned once you got in there and you learned to love school according to what you just said.
Yeah,
because you was able to pick your courses, work with the teachers, work with
the
students.
I think what happened is parents put a lot of pressure on kids for grades. So I knew there wasn't like a report card coming out. And so what happened is that I got to build a relationship with the teachers. So I would go and ask for help. If there was something in the classroom I did not know, I went to the teacher and actually asked for help. But what I did is something I did that I think is very unique that not many people do today is I created my own team. And I would be in class and I would see the people taking really good notes and I would see the people answering questions. And then I would become friends with those people and say, hey, would you mind helping create a study group or like an after group? So what happened is in college, what made college so enjoyable for me is I was able to create little teams of people that were study groups. And we worked together, exchanging notes, exchanging things, studying for tests together. And when you study together as a team, you build more confidence. And then when I went into a test, I didn't feel like I was going to fail the test because we had studied as a team. But studying alone put a lot of pressure on me to think I was going to fail.
Hold it. At the station break,
yeah.
I tell you, as you see, this discussion just so I will take a station break, but we come back and I see we got people watching from Kenya. I see we got people watching from Ghana. And we have people watching from all over the world. So remember, it's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley.
really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm sitting here having a great discussion with my buddy Mike Burke. And I tell you, he was going over a lot of things about education, just things in life. We're going to dive deep into in this segment, So, Mike, can you tell our viewers and our listeners, what prompt you to? You got like 8, 9, 27 different businesses. What prompted you initially to start your initial business, and how did that add on to you creating other businesses as well?
So that's a good question. To be an entrepreneur is not something you just wake up in the morning and go, you know what, I'm going to start a business. Most people get out of college and they go, got to find a job. Dads, parents, they're like, all right, now you got a diploma, you got a marketing degree. Now what? What are you going to do? Right? There's a lot of college kids out there flipping burgers that don't know what the hell they're going to do. I didn't know what to do. My dad said, well, son, you're in sales. You need to go be in sales. I said, okay. And he goes, I looked at the paper. Back then, because I'm 52, Charlotte Observer was an actual paper. People went to the paper to go to classifieds to look for job ads. So I went there and I saw $5,000 signing bonus selling cars. So I went to actually apply for a job selling cars at the Toyota dealership. I went to the Toyota dealership. They asked them for the $5,000, like $3,000. I mean, like they said I have a job. I said, well, when do I get $5,000? And they said, let me tell you, you work here for 3 months, and this is how much money you'll make in 3 months. Cars on a flat rate, or you can start tomorrow on 100% commission. So I was like, okay. But earlier in that little interview, they brought other people that were selling cars and asked them how much money they made, and they pulled out their paycheck stubs. I don't know if they do this today, but in the car business 30 years ago, everybody walked around with their pay stub to prove who was the best salesman. So they literally would walk around like, oh, man, I made more money today. It was like old competition. So, we were talking about the locker room, about creating a safe environment with men. And, that's kind of the topic I want to get to in a little bit. But getting to selling cars taught me one lesson. I went out there eager and didn't know a thing. But all I did was go, I'm on 100% commission. So if I don't sell a single car, I don't make a single dollar, right? And then I would see these guys that have been selling cars for 20 years, and they're out there smoking cigarettes, and they're out there look fat, they look, out of shape, they look like they're horrible, they're not horrible men, but they're just horrible in their appearance. They look like they're beat down. They're not excited, right? And so I went and would sit out there, and they'd be smoking a cigarette, and a guy would pull up, and he goes, "Oh, that's a bogue." And I didn't know what a bogue was, right? So a bogue is somebody that basically has bad credit. And I'm like, well, how do you know? They're already prejudging this guy and judging the customer before he ever gets in there, right? And then they'll go, "Oh, well, that guy's upside down." And I'm like, "What's upside down?" Upside down means they owe more on the car than it's worth. So they, they're not trading that car because they can't get out of it. So I'm starting to learn all these terms from the old guys. And then the managers are like, "Don't listen to them. You greet everybody and you treat everybody like they want to buy a car." So I was like, okay. So I went and got everybody that walked in was like my best friend. "Hey man, what's going on? Hey, you want to buy a car today? What do you want to look at?" And I'd walk them in the lot. And next thing you know, I try to get a car with the keys. I had to run back to the box, get the keys. The battery be dead, the car be dirty. And next thing you know, I'd lose the sale. And I said, well, screw this. And I have a marketing background. I said, you know what? I'm going to wash the most popular cars. So I went to the deal book and I started seeing the cars that were most popular. Camry, this color, start seeing this. So I would go back to the detail department and I would detail. I'd go find one with the keys, find a car, detail it, gas it up, and have it parked in the used car lot. And I'd have the keys. So when everybody came on the lot, I'd be like, "Hey, I just got finished test driving this car with a customer. Might come back this afternoon and buy it. Let's just go get in and take it for a drive." So I bypassed all the other crap and didn't examine anything. Go get keys. I said, "No, I just got the keys. This one. You want to test out a Camry?" Next thing you know, I'd come back and they go, "Well, I like this car." And I go, "No, this one's not for sale. I've already got somebody on this one, but we can go get another one on the lot. You want to go pick out a different color?" No, I like this one. So I would take it away from them. And then, so I learned the art of negotiation, art of sales. And I became fascinated with people that wanted to solve the problem. And then I got them excited. So what happened is the gratification, I fell in love with gratification. So it was like, I just made them happy. And that's what really fueled me. And starting a business later on is I got this hunger. I was in business for myself. I was on 100% commission selling cars. If I didn't sell a car, I didn't eat. So I felt the hunger every single day. When I got up, I was there at 6:30, 7 in the morning. The business meetings didn't start till 7:30. I was there an hour early, and there wasn't a night that I did not leave. We closed at 9, and there wasn't a light. I didn't leave till 10. So I was in the service lane every morning, up. So in the service lane, when you brought your car in for service, I'd go, "Hey, good morning. Would you like some coffee?" We had a coffee bar. And I would tell the service managers, anybody had a ticket over $1,000 and had a 5-year-old car, come and get me. And I'd hand them $20. Because I'm making $300 to $500 selling a car. So I would go over there and this guy would be like, "Hey man, your car's in for service?" Yeah. And I go, "Man, have you drove one of the new Camrys? I know you got one of the older ones." He goes, "I can't afford a new Camry." I said, "Well, it looks like your bill might be a couple $1,000s, man. You might want to come drive one of these new Camrys." So, and I said, better yet, I said, "The coffee here is not that great. You want to go down the street and go get a Dunkin' Donuts or something?" And I just became friends with people. And then years later, my buddies in the car business, not years later, but like a year later, my buddy's like, "Hey man, you need to get out of the car business." And I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Well, you don't get Saturdays. You don't get Sundays. You're working all the time. You don't get to see your kids grow up." And they saw that I was really good at it and was very passionate about it. And then I had some managers that were like, "Mike, you need to get out of car business and get something else."
Wow. I think Michelle want to jump off into the next topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
You got it.
Oh, okay. Well, the title of the show is called Recreating the Locker Room. And, why men need brotherhood, positivity, and purpose. Can you tell us what this title actually means, Mike? And why did you want to discuss it today?
Well, the reason I came up with this topic is because men in life that grew up playing sports, and we get injured and we get hurt in business, in life. People go through divorces, people go through pain, suffering, and there's one thing that kind of keeps men together, and we have to go back to our childhood days, and we have to go back to our what we consider our fun days, college, high school. Anyone that's ever played sports ever in their life has got what's called the locker room environment. It's a safe zone, right? And you can go and you can be uncomfortable there, but you feel safe, which means you can talk about anything, you can pick on each other, you can cut up, you can, and I'm saying this in a weird way, but you can take showers together and not feel uncomfortable. Everyone is equal. And so I feel like the locker room is what I'm looking for in life right now, is to create my own locker room in life. I'm 52 years old. I've had lots of health issues. I've had cancer. I've had both my hips replaced. I've had back surgery, and I broke my pelvis. And in that back surgery, the surgeon left me paralyzed in my left leg. So from my left knee down, I'm paralyzed. I had to relearn how to walk, and my calf looks about half the size of my other calf, and my left foot feels like tingling needles 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And my girlfriend and I, a couple of years ago, we would travel, and she would say, "Hey, you want to go do this?" And I would say, "How far is that?" I couldn't walk. So I felt limited. And after I had surgery, I sat in bed for a couple of months, crawling on my hands and knees to the bathroom. Never thought I'd ever go walk or run or ride a bike ever again in my life. And I was depressed and battled, wanting to kill myself every day. All I wanted to do was die. And so in life now, after getting through some very difficult times in my life, I am wanting to help other people and inspire other people. And the locker room is where men feel comfortable letting go of their emotions because it's safe.
Where did you get the courage to actually push back from those thoughts and start understanding that you have purpose? You have purpose that you need to live, because God is not done with you yet, and you need to inspire others to understand that we all go through challenges. But just like the locker room that we're talking about, that locker room is there to uplift everyone. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I've met a lot of professional athletes who, 5, 10, 15 years later become depressed. They become weak, they become out of shape, and they lose who they are because they don't feel important, because they can't be the hero. And what happened to me is I was jumping rope, doing MMA. I'm Superman and Batman. And one of my sayings now is I used to be Superman, now I'm Batman, which means I had the real power before, but now I'm kind of using all the tools and the gadgets and all the little, all the cool stuff that make me still be a superhero. And as a very successful man and someone who's tough, when you lose your power, you feel vulnerable and you feel uncomfortable. You feel like you can't be the man you once were. So when you play sports or you live at a high level and you can't do that anymore, you have to reinvent yourself and you fight depression. But what happens is that you've got to get around other men who have battled the same things, similar ways, and you create this force of helping each other and you get through it. But when you're everyone's hero, your kids look up to you, your family looks up to you, you're the breadwinner, you're the financial support, and you feel broken and you feel like you can't do the things that you want to do. And you got to kind of come to terms that you're not that person anymore. That person died, and that you got to be a new person. You got to create a new you. And that's what's very difficult to do, because you want to go be back playing in the game. You want to go hit, you want to go fight, you want to go be tough. But I'm tough in a different way. I'm tough. I'm way tougher than I was. And what that means is that I know my weaknesses and I know my strength. And I know that I'm going to help more people by educating them on how they get through the pain, because it's pain that people fight. They fight that pain. And drugs aren't going to fix the pain. You've got to get up every single morning and be committed to consistency. It's commitment to consistency. You got to be 1% better. So if I walk 5 steps, tomorrow I'm walking 6.
Wow. You just, the way that you put this is so important that our viewers and our listeners understand that. One of the things I talk about is what I call the 4 C's. And the 4 C's are create, collaborate, commit with confidence. And I believe by utilizing those 4 C's in the way that they are meant to be used, it creates what we call the big C, which is character. Mm-hmm. And everything is about character. And once a person realizes that, I might have not been able to do this like I did before, but I have found a renewing of myself. So we're going to take a station break, but when we get back, we're going to pick it up with that. And I'll tell you, whichever platform that you're watching us on, you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you, Mike will get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
Dr. J.C. Cooley. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah. Come on.
The last of the 4 C's that I want to talk about: create, collaborate, commit. When you commit to something, if I say, Brad, are you going to do that? What you going to say? Yes. Or if I say, Brad, you going to do that? Yeah. That's not total commitment, because when you commit, you got to commit with confidence. Confidence that you can do it. Confidence that you can grow this program. Confidence that we can save lives. Confidence that we can create opportunities to make our communities, make people lives that's coming back in the system, to make lives that are people that are in high school and in communities and juveniles and this. We got to educate them, because the main thing that we want to build out of all of this with opportunities, we utilize the 4 C's: create, collaborate, commit with what? Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do is all about committing with God.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible, integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are, grow in faith, and build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today?
Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply today and be among the global leaders.
The James Cooley Show.
to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And I tell you, just sitting here, Mike almost took me there this last time. I was just listening to him. He was authentic. And some of the challenges that I believe that we all have, but we don't want to talk about those things, which kind of keeps us from the renewing of the mind, is what I call it. It kind of keeps us from discovering another purpose that God has placed in us. And so sometimes we have to share, we have to talk about it. And sometimes by doing that, it makes us feel good. It makes us want to uplift others. It makes us determined on whatever plan God. With that being said, I'm turning back over to you, Michelle.
Thank you. So, Mike, how can other places such as workplace environments or friend groups, how can they replicate a brotherhood environment?
Well, it can be replicated in many ways. Number one, you got to have something in common, okay? Either you got to suffer the same pain, but how you find these groups of people is number one, you got to be yourself. And you've got to go out and say, okay, if you like bourbon, join a bourbon group, like a bourbon tasting group. If you like pickleball, go to pickleball. If you like bowling, go to bowling. If you like shooting pool, go shoot pool. If you like playing poker, go play poker. But you have to turn around and find people with some type of common ground. Like go to the gym, if you work out. Even if you just go to the gym and just go into the sauna, go take a steam bath, go get a shower and leave, you're going to be in an environment around people who want to improve themselves. And what I mean by that, and I'm going to go a little left field here. If you go into a place where, say, you're getting a manicure, women have a safe zone in many ways. They get mani-pedis, they go to the hair salons, they go to tanning beds, they go to the face cream place to get their facials. And they have all women's groups of activities. Like they go drink wine together, and then men go play golf, right? Mm-hmm. And you have an outlet there a little bit, but there's not a real safe environment when you're playing golf. You got to go to a place where you can almost go to the barber shop. But I just did a study the other day. It's 1 in 2 men are going bald. We're both bald. So ain't like we're going to the barber shop anymore. Just being funny. But you got to go where men are, where you can go have some common ground and create a group. It's like this world. You have to look at networking, like building a brand for yourself, building who you are. You meet someone. I don't care if you're checking out of the grocery store and this guy, has something in common with you. Maybe he's got a Dallas Cowboys jersey on and you like Dallas, he likes Dallas, and you find something in common. You exchange phone numbers, and next thing you know, you go have a drink together. The next thing you know, that dude's battling the same kind of problems. He went through a divorce. He had back surgery, or he battled cancer. Or he lost his mom. Next thing you know, he just wants somebody to talk to, right? Next thing you know, you got a friend, he's got a friend. Next thing you know, you got another buddy who joins you, and you just create this group of people who are there for each other. And, one thing I've done in life is when I get off the phone with someone that actually means something to me, and I started doing this years and years ago, man, it's I got a lot of good guy friends now that I've built a very strong base, and I tell them every day I love them. It's okay for another man to go, man, I love you, bro, and give them some love. And one thing I'm going to touch on here that most men need to do more is hug each other. Men need hugs, and we need love, and we need affection from each other. We'll slap hands and be cool, but I'm telling you, there's nothing more valuable than another man coming up and giving you a real hug. And Walt Disney said, when the characters at Disney World or Disneyland, when a kid comes up and hugs you, you're not to let go until the kid lets go. So the kid has to let go first.
Mm-hmm.
It lets go, then you can let go. We've got to do that. When you go and be there for somebody and be there for your friends and you go give them a hug and you haven't seen them in a while, you freaking hug them and you hug them. And I look at it myself when I hug another man that I love and I care about, that means something to me. I'm hugging them like I'm at a funeral. Like we're both at a funeral and we're hugging each other and we're bringing it in. And we're being men, but we're giving ourselves energy and strength to keep fighting.
Wow, that is really amazing. You know, one of the talking points you wanted to also kind of convey to the audience, Mike, was about business, fatherhood, and the pressure to perform. So, in what ways do you believe that people might wear masks in leadership or fatherhood roles?
Well, what happens is you get the big house, you get the nice car, and then you got a successful career in business as an entrepreneur. And then you wake up and you realize that you work for your employees. You actually work for them. So I wake up every single day and I work for every employee in the company. I work for them because they have car payments, they have mortgages, they have children in school, and they have Christmas and they have vacations. And that all comes to me. It's my company. I built it. They work for the company. I work for the company. We all work for the same company. But if I have a bad day and I do things that are considered bad, like I could not work for someone that I knew was an alcoholic. I could not work for someone that was an abusive husband. I could not work for someone that is not aligned with me ethically. So the pressure of me, I can't go get drunk in public. I cannot go get drunk around my kids. I cannot go do things that are irresponsible because I have too many lives that I'm now responsible for. And sometimes I have to be on 24/7 all the time. And that is a lot of pressure. So taking a day off and unwinding and letting go is very difficult for people who are in a position where any minute business could go down and marketing budgets need to be adjusted. The economy changes. Next thing you know, I've got a plan for next month's budget. You go, oh my Lord, we're off 20% than we were last year. Who do I let go? How do I pivot? How do I make decisions a month out, 3 months out? So there's a lot of pressure to make decisions that are good for your company, but also for your employees because they're counting on you. Your kids are counting on you, and everyone is looking to you. And that's a ton of pressure that you put on yourself.
Wow. And you're right, dude. We got about 2 minutes before the break. Have you ever experienced where you felt that you had to be perfect and not an authentic way to encourage employees or kids or whatever to do certain things?
What I did is I realized as soon as I make a mistake, I own it. And anytime one of my employees makes a mistake or they damage something, it's my fault. And the reason it's my fault is because I didn't educate them or put a process in place to eliminate that problem from happening. So one thing that I did is I started taking more ownership and responsibility for all the mistakes that I made. So I don't put those mistakes on my employees so they can go with a clear conscience back to work and stay confident that everything's okay. Even if everything's not okay, it's okay because we're going to get through it because I'm going to take the brunt of the problems. And it's my job to be the leader.
Wow. We got to take a station break, Mike. But we're going to come back. We're going to pick it up because this is so important. What we're talking about. I tell you what, if you want to be part of this great conversation, all you do is just go to the platform that you're watching us on. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
In this life you are gonna grow, but there's things in this world that you gotta know. To be the best that you can be, you wanna grow real big into a strong tree. To be who you're created to be, the one who's gonna leave a legacy is you. But you got to have these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. Oh yeah. It's the 4 C's.
At Meridian Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Meridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at VeridianChristianUniversity.com. That's VeridianChristianUniversity.com.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. And I tell you what, just thoroughly enjoying this conversation. This young man had to come back on for part 2. He got to come back on for part 2. You know, so because it's so inspiring. But before we get off into the next segment, I got to tell everybody about this absolutely fantastic university called Meridian Christian University. Yeah, I am the chancellor. But that's not why I'm talking to you about it. I'm talking to you about this because our university offers over 36 different degree programs, from bachelor's, master's, doctorates, and if you're doing above and beyond, we offer honorary doctorate degrees as well. We are fully accredited, and we are probably 1/5 the cost of a regular university in order for you to get your whichever degree that you pursue. We're 100% online. So I'll tell you what, just look up MeridianChristianUniversity.com. Again, that's MeridianChristianUniversity.com. Mike, I want to get back to this discussion that we're having, man, because you were talking about fatherhood and leaders and certain things that I believe that we need to share with our kids, our employees, family, to let them know that it's okay to be vulnerable at times. And it's okay, just like you had mentioned, to say, I love you. And that's not a little sissy thing. I mean, because that's important. A lot of times, just by telling somebody that, you don't know what you have done. You might have changed their whole world. They might have been depressed, or they might have been thinking about crazy things. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I can a little bit. You know, what happens is, I look online a little bit I'm not a big newscaster. I'm not a big political person. I just really have to go back into the common sense of the world. And I go, okay, what do we need in America or around the world to be happy? Like my friends are always asking me, man, you happy? And I'm like, I guess so. I mean, what is happiness, right? We have to go, what's happiness? You know, for a woman and kids, I'm going to say it's probably safety. Do we have a house? Do we feel safe in it? Do we have food? Do we have transportation? Do we have a car? Do we have a phone? Do we have internet? What's happened, in my opinion, I could be totally off the mark here, but society with social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, I grew up in a world where you walked outside and you grabbed your bike and you went to your friend's house and you played and you came home, you went to bed, you ate dinner, and mom's cooked. And what's happened is the world has gotten a little different. That if you go back and look at the 50s, you go back and look at the 70s, 80s, 90s now, my mom was home, man. She got me off the bus. She cooked. You know, she was there for me. A lot of the parents today, you know, work 2 jobs. Wives are working, moms are working, dads are working. So the internet and the neighbors' kids or whoever is raising your kids. So the pressure now to have the right shoes, the right hair, the right clothes is all on social media. And now I feel like kids early on are under a lot more pressure to be cool or to fit in, or to have more views or more likes. And I feel like there's just a lot more pressure on kids today that parents are unaware of. And I think we have to be more relevant of the problems that are going on in the world are self-created. And this is where I'm going into, we have a house, we have a car, and we have safety, we have loving parents. We need to get smaller houses. We need to get more affordable houses. We need more affordable cars. We need more affordable everything. Everything has gotten out of control. We've got bigger houses, bigger cars. You know, everybody's keeping up with the guy down the street, and we've become competitive. And, you know, oh, you got a Louis Vuitton purse. I've got to have a Louis Vuitton purse, the newest one. I've got to have the new Nikes. The parents are working their butts off to try to give the kids the material things they want to be popular. And that's putting a lot of pressure on parents to make sure they're giving the kids what they think that they are giving them to be happy. Unfortunately, it's not creating happiness. You know what makes kids happy is when dad comes home and he says, grab the mitt, grab the ball, let's go throw the ball, let's go out and get a basketball and go in the backyard and start shooting some hoops. And just doing things with your kids are what make them happy.
Wow. Like we got about 3 minutes before the show ends. And you give our viewers and our listeners at least 4 takeaways from this great discussion that we're having.
4 takeaways. Number 1, put your phone down. Number 2, listen to your kids. Pay attention to them. Hug them. Love them. And tell them you made them because you wanted them. They need confidence. And you are a big man about confidence. And that's one of your C's. And, you know, the other takeaway is downsizing is okay. You don't need to be popular to be happy. Be happy with yourself, that you have friends around you. We all suffer. We all need to talk about it. And we all need to realize that what's important in life is telling the people that mean something to you every single day that you love them, because you don't know if they're going to be here tomorrow.
One of the things I take away that I want to give is always talk about, you know, acceptance of who you are, meaning that you have to know yourself. Everything about you, your good, the bad, things that keep you up late at night. So you have to identify all of those things and partition. So know yourself. And once you identify those things, this is who you are. You have to accept who you are.
I'm not going to just go into accept. Don't apologize. Be you and own it, man. Like when you walk in the room, just own it.
And that leads into the next one, which is know yourself, accept yourself, love yourself, own it, love who you are.
You gotta love it, man.
And the final thing about that, know yourself, accept yourself, love yourself before you share yourself.
Well, I can tell you, I'm gonna end it right here. You know what I love? I love you.
I love you too, bro.
You're my dog.
Hey.
You know what he said?
My DAWG. You know, I want to thank you, and I'm serious, Bob. If you have time to come back home, I would love to do a part 2.
Yeah,
this is fantastic, right?
You don't get me in person very often. Next one's gonna be remote.
Okay.
I don't want to come here. So I mean, I travel all over the world, baby.
You do, and you just got back. You just got off the plane from Australia and came straight here.
We rode 24 hours. There's a foundation. We just rode 24 hours on bicycle around Charlotte, North Carolina for 24 hours and rode 75 miles to raise money for cancer. So I know you got to end the show, but I'm telling you, we have a lot more on.
I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely outstanding show. I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and all over the world. Always, always, always bring big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life in West Eden.